All right, it's on screen, off screen, back with another week. We've got Lauren and Josh, and we're all feeling fantastic. Lauren's healing up from some dental issues, so if she rubs her jaw or anything, just it's all gonna be okay. Hopefully, she heals up quick. Let's start with Lauren's topic so she can rest her jaw after talking so much. What do you got?
I finally finished Red Rising. Uh, I
The first
started,
book?
yes. I
Okay,
tried
cool.
listening to the second one, but it's not downloading on my phone, so I'll have to figure something out because I want to listen to it. Um, but it's funny because I recommended Red Rising to one of my coworkers because you guys talked about it. He read it, finished the series before I picked up Red Rising.
That's crazy.
And so every single week he's like, darn, or like, have you picked it up again? And I listened up to spoilers, everybody. I'm gonna go and talk about the book. Um up to where he kills his wife with the hanging. And then he like dies but doesn't die. Um and he keeps like getting angry at everybody, and he's like, why save me, not her? And I'm like, well, dude, you kind of killed her. They didn't have a chance to save her. But anyway, I like paused there for like 3 months, I think, and then I got back into the book and then just listened to it all in one day. um, but it definitely didn't go where I thought it was gonna go. Because they when they turn him into a gold or whatever, I was like, okay, this is once again nowhere where I thought this book was going. And I think that that portion of the book though was so long for no reason. Um, I did appreciate the fact that he was saying stuff like he was missing that they were taking stuff of him away. And then when they were like trying to rename him, he's like, no, you already took like everything from me. Uh, Let me keep this one thing. Um, I like Mustang. Uh, I like, well,
She's
it's
so
probably,
great.
yeah, it's probably easier for me to say who I don't like, um, more than who I do. Um, I can't think of who the wolf skin guy is that like he went off on his own at the very beginning of House Mars.
What is his name, Josh? I can't remember his name.
I want It's not Zeppo, but it's like it's so yeah. Anyway, I really like his character. Um and also like when they're like, oh, this one guy who's like super beefy got killed in the first trial. They're like, well, who killed him? And I was like, we know that they paired up the weak people with the stronger people, so find the weakest looking person here, and that's who killed him. And so like I instantly knew it was the runt guy that had killed him. I was like, people, use your brains. Um, but I also think that is it Cassian that is he's a weenie. I do not like him.
You'll
I
like him
love
more throughout the
Cassian.
series.
I have a love-hate relationship with him, but he's like, "You're dead to me because you killed my brother." He's like, "Dude, I had no choice." If it was like they're in the games and he ended up killing his brother for like an advantageous something, then I could see him having um merit in hating him and having this blood feud with the main character. But I'm like, dude, get over it.
I think you'll like him more in the later books.
I hope
'Cause
so.
I kind of thought that too when I first read the book.
I
Yeah,
do.
because
I always loved Cassian.
I do like his character. I think he needs to grow up a little bit. Um,
I think you're wrong. I think he's totally justified.
I mean, like he can be angry and like pissed off at him, but like freaking I hated
He's
how
smart enough that it seems like he would realize that the real enemy is someone larger than this random dude.
yeah, because the thing was, is the main character is mad at the people who are running this trial, the
Yeah,
game,
Arrow.
and Cassian is like you said. I think he should be smart enough to realize, oh, it was these a holes that made us be pitted against each other, and me hating him is the exact thing that they wanted out of this, and he's letting them win because of it, and I hate that because I'm like, because I do think he is smarter than that. um
I
anyway,
agree.
um but I love Mustang. I love the whole uh like when they first kind of meet her and they're like treading in the lake and she's like, oh, come on, it's fine, I'll just make you do like all the easiest chores and stuff, like goading them until they like left, and then the wolf guy came and saved them. And then I loved how he left her. I love the whole Mustang arc where uh then they take over House Minerva. She runs away, but he like lets her go because he realized his house is not going to be nice to her. And so then when later he gets stabbed, which what the heck are even the bots for? The med bots for? There's so many people who are like sitting there dying forever, and they're like, guess we
I didn't
don't
think
give a
about that,
bot.
but kind of, yeah.
It's like, because like when he got stabbed and he's like, oh, it's taking forever for you to die, and I was like, oh, good, the med bots will come get him
Where that? Where
anytime.
that?
Anytime, med bots. Plenty of time. um because it seemed like that was one thing that just bugged me about the book, was that it seemed like sometimes the med bots would take people out of the games, sometimes they'd bring them back into the game, but then when it was like for him or somebody he liked, then they're like, no med bots for you. You have to try to stitch that up yourself. And I'm like, that's bullcrap.
So it
That's
just doesn't seem
part of it,
consistent.
though.
Yeah, it wasn't consistent, but I mean, like, and I get that that was like kind of part of the game, but also they were saying like how they didn't want to kill a whole bunch of the higher up golds after the first trial.
But Darrow isn't a higher up gold.
He's not in status, but in like
He's still a
in
gold.
But it's
testing
all
he
about
was higher,
status. That's the point.
I guess.
It's all about status. This whole book is all about status. Like, even within the golds, that there's a hierarchy,
Yeah.
right? Because Mustang and her brother get all the special treatment you could possibly ask for because of who their dad is.
Yeah.
And other, golds, they get special treatment. But, when somebody gets injured who's part of the wolf gang, none of them come from high ranking gold families. They're always just left to die or be screwed over or whatever. Like, to me, it is consistent because the people that are picked and chosen to get the medbots are those with families that have status.
I mean, but it's also weird because Julian, Cassian's brother, they didn't mind killing him,
Well, they wanted
but
him to kill Darrow. I mean, that was the
did
whole
they
thing.
really?
It was like a one-on-one. Like,
I think
there's
they
only one
thought
gonna
through
come
that.
out of
Yeah.
this one, and it's gonna be Julian. I think 100% it was this guy with no social standing. It's kind of being pretty cool, so we've got
Oh,
to.
So you
I
think
don't
they
think that they
thought?
were. That doesn't make any sense, Josh. Like they thought Julian was the one that was going to kill Darrow.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes any sense. I think they set it up so Cassian would kill this Darrow character, and it would be a build arc, a growth arc for Cassian because he's an important family.
I mean, they even said how like Julian, it was a miracle that he got into the school.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think I expected Darrow to lose that at all.
yeah, I think they specifically put Darrow against Julian, knowing that because Darrow and Cassian were buddies, that Darrow would have to kill his brother. I think that
Yeah.
was their plan.
Or it doesn't go into this in the book series, but when I first read it, I thought that it was a coup to get rid of a high ranking member of the society because you get rid of the son of this family, but it never goes into that into the book series, so I don't know.
I don't know for sure who they wanted to win, but I do know that they thought of it as a win-win situation where one will come out. And either they have the plot line of Julian or not Julian killing Darrow and Cassian having to deal with losing a good friend, or his good friend killing his brother. Like,
But at the same time, I actually think that it might just be a little bit poor writing because who would Julian lose to? Nobody. No matter what, Julian was going
except
to die.
he's still a gold, and he's still from the family, and there's a lot of biases towards those in that family.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could totally see them saying, well, he's not the strongest in the family, but he's still a ex-family member. And this guy comes from nowhere that doesn't matter, you know? Like,
but if you look at two people and you're like, we got Julian, he can barely walk. He's this scrawny little kid. Well, keep going, fella. And then you've got Darrow, that's a freaking machine. Like, look at this guy. He's giant. He's got big arms. He's ripped. Julian's gonna lose.
I thought the whole, and I might have misread this, but when they were going off about how like Julian, they didn't expect him to make it into the school at all. And then when he was like, but like it's illegal to not accept. I think that they knew they were trying to kill Julian at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought that they were like, it was kind of a message to that family to kill Julian. But I might have misread that. But that was just what I thought. And then I did like this book because it kept going in places I didn't think it was gonna go. Like I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get the jackal and like everything's gonna be fine and he's gonna win. Yeah. No, he had to go to freaking Olympus and like take out all of the proctors. And I really liked that, actually. I enjoyed that.
Super good climax of the book.
And then I thought it was really funny when you find out that Mustang is the jackal's like sister, and he's like, she betrayed me, and I was like, dude, chill out. Remember, you had a conversation earlier about like how you had to keep Julian a secret from Cassian, and she's like kind of hinted at that point something like how he's like, oh, the betrayal. And then I love when she came back and she's like, yeah, no, that's fair. I expected you to think that you betrayed me, but here you go. Here's the jackal. I loved that moment. It was peak. Even though I knew she didn't betray him.
I think Red Rising is one of the best examples of like good villains raising heroes up. Because I think the Jackal is one of the best written villains ever. But the fact that you have Mustang and the Jackal being brother and sister develops Mustang a lot. And you already take a pretty good character and you make her significantly better by having that family dynamic. And you'll see that as you read the other two books, because the Jackal is just great.
Especially like her views. I liked when she first meets Darrow and she's like yelling at him and she's like, you need to evolve. And I was like, dang, yeah. And then I also like the fact that he doesn't just glaze over Io. He keeps bringing her up like to the forefront of things, even when he starts realizing he likes Mustang. And then I like how he's like, wait, like Mustang actually wants to realize Io's dream and stuff like that. So I really like how Darrow likes Mustang, not because she's just this pretty gold or whatever, but because of like her ideals and stuff. And like, I don't even think once did it say that Darrow was like, she's rock star pretty. He like was saying all of these things of like what she was doing and like actions that were like attracted to him, and it was other characters that kept pointing out like that she was pretty. But anyway, I enjoyed how he wrote that because it made, because normally in stuff like this when it's like the wife died or whatever, I was like, don't move on, don't ever move on. But in this one I was like, oh, actually, I'm not even mad about that because he keeps honoring his late wife in the story, and I really enjoyed that. So
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think I rated Red Rising as an 8.5 because of the issues that I pointed out earlier that I was annoyed with. That it was like it was slow at the beginning. He could have cut the my eyes are gold, my hair is gold, my
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 left
pinky's
pinky
gold.
toe is gold.
Yeah, so I think like there was some parts of that that I appreciated of like dissecting that like it's basically a whole new person but still the same and how he's dealing with that, but I think it could have been shorter.
Cool.
um yeah, so I enjoyed it. I'll be reading the second one as soon as Audible decides that it will download it. But
I
Awesome.
found keeping
Awesome.
the app active makes it go faster.
That goes way faster.
it won't, like, it's stuck on preparing. It won't go past preparing.
I would just
Do you
delete it
have
and
enough?
re-download again,
I keep
or
doing
stop
that.
the download. Oh,
I might have to like re-download because I will download other books. I looked to see if it was, anyway. Yeah, we'll troubleshoot that later.
all right, Josh. What's your first topic?
Okay, so my first topic is a recommendation from a friend. The deal is she listens to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I listen to From Blood and Ash. Um, I'm gonna be just straight up with this one. It is like if Twilight was good. It has some smut in it, but it is very easily skippable, which is good. Um, there is a little bit of irritation that irritated me and would irritate you too, Lauren, where the main character is just like, I hate you, but he's so hot. I mean, look at those eyes and those shoulders. It just takes my breath away, and I should push away, but I can feel his shoulder strength. And it's like, oh my gosh, girl, like,
Get a grip,
pull it
woman.
together. Um, but our main girl lost her parents as a little girl, so she was chosen by the gods to be quote unquote the maiden. So she has to be veiled and masked at all times. She's kept away from society, um, XYZ, etc. So she only has a few friends, right? Her head guard is allowed to see her and talk to her. Um, her head matron, whatever, who helps her like dress and stuff, she's allowed to see her, and the Duke of the Kingdom and his wife is allowed to see her. Nobody else is allowed to see her face. And they have these things called the Craven, and they come out and they attack, and they're beasts, and they're formed by being infected. And our main girl, Poppy, she's really like um, badass, like, to be square. She's not a perfect character, which is good because she's not a whatever it's called. She's genuinely just really good at some things and not good at other things, and she'll break out of her room to go defend the castle in the dead of night, and like she shoots a Craven with an arrow just as he's about to be attacked by one of the Craven, and then like isn't able to shoot another one in time, and that soldier like dives off the wall to keep the Craven from attacking another soldier, and she focuses on that a little bit. Um, she has I really love the characters that are around her. Um, like she has this guy who's her head guard, and he teaches her how to fight because he knows that like her parents died from a craven, so he taught her how to defend herself, which is cool. And I listened to the um, dramatized version where they have different voice actors and stuff. And like he's voiced by a guy that sounds exactly like Beast from Beauty and the Beast. He has that nice like bass voice that's really cool to listen to. It makes him feel powerful and coherent and all this kind of stuff. And then the guy that is introduced, his name is Hawk, and he's like the young up and comer guard, and he gets assigned to her as the second guard after her other second guard is killed. Um, and there's a whole bunch of like politics stuff that's going on. Um, there's a lot of government suppressing, keeping secrets, XYZ stuff. Um, and she's chosen, so she has to go to the capital to um, ascend, I guess is what it's called. She does some little like ritual and she ascends. And then she had like there's magical abilities, and she has one where she can feel another person's fear or pain. And that slowly starts growing, and this is the first book in the series, so I still don't know a lot that's going on. But I really, really liked this book. It was really, really good. I liked the writing for the most part. Like I said, there is some smut in it. If this was a non-smutty book, I would give it like a 9 out of 10.
And did you say this was part of a series, or was
Yeah,
this
it's
one?
the first one in the series, yeah.
Okay, how many are there? Is it a 3 or 5?
3 or 4 or
12?
5. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to give too much away. I do think it does build up to some very cool places. I'm very excited to see where things go. My complaints on it are the smutty parts, and Poppy and Hawk have this little fling thing. And to me, it's just so painfully obvious that he is a giant walking red flag. And I'm just like, move on. Okay, I get that he's rock star handsome, but like maybe find somebody who treats you better than that asshole does. And
I've noticed it being a trend with romance books where, especially if it's a series, the first love interest ends up being a total jerk. And then they find like the end game, the next book or whatever.
normally I would agree with you. This one, he is the end game.
Ew, no.
Yeah.
You just
I hate to say it. Like, I know there's enough in it to make me know that, like, okay, he's going to corrupt her, but it's going to turn out to be for the better. And it's not going to be corrupting her, it's going to be enlightening her, and then it's good.
Saving her.
And I hate this guy. Like, he's such a douchebag.
So are you like gonna continue with this series, or is that
absolutely I am.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love our main character Poppy. She has a friend that she had to leave back in the castle that she was raised in, and she is like one of the coolest, like, best friend characters I've ever read. Like, the way they banter off of each other feels so real. It's like, this is the person who wrote this has a girl best friend, and this is exactly how they talk to each other. I have no doubt in my mind. And that was really cool to see. Her first guard that dies at the beginning, he is a character I absolutely love. When I first started listening to it, I was like, oh, please end up with that guy. Please have him be the end game, where it's like, oh, they go from best friends to kind of awkward to maybe a little bit uncomfortable, and then they admit their feelings for each other, and it's a slow burn. And I was like, yes, and then he died, and I was like, No. But
Did she
she
slowly burn?
she actually got revenge on the guy that killed him. So I was like, okay, I'll take it a little bit. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I said, it's very much like Twilight, but if it was good. There are some things like there are werewolves in the book, but everybody expected them to be extinct. So when they show up at the end, I wish that would have just been front loaded at the beginning. Like the beginning, there's all this lore, and it talks about how the Ascended, the Ascended versus the Atlanteans, and they never mention werewolves till the werewolves show up. So it's like, if that would have been just like front loaded and I knew that could be a possibility, then I might have started picking up on things. But it's just at the end and it's like, werewolf, what's up? And you're like, oh my gosh.
The howling in the woods at night didn't tip you off?
Yeah. So it is still, like I said, it's very good. I am still really liking it. I skipped through the smut parts. And I'm excited for book 2. I did. Guessed. Go ahead.
You should have guessed that there's werewolves when he said, where the hell have you been, Loca? Poppy, where the hell have you been, Loca? Okay, you don't know. I'm in enemy territory,
I don't
everybody.
know what you're talking about. Literally, I have no idea what you're saying.
About? I think you have to explain now.
Oh my gosh, it's a huge Twilight meme where, Jacob comes up to Bella and he's like, Bella, where you been, Loca? It's like so cringeworthy that like everybody's just been like making all of these memes and all of these.
Never seen a meme.
I've never seen that ever.
Seen that scene.
I'm in enemy territory. Everybody listening, tell them why they're wrong and send your best Loca memes.
Or don't. If we just
do that.
As a society move on from Twilight, I'm okay.
Completely.
Totally.
Give them some joy back in their lives, everybody.
There is a new series called From Blood and Ash, and it completely is like good Twilight. So just forget Twilight. Everybody read From Blood and Ash because it's actually good.
I actually looked at reading this book, but I went on Goodreads, and this convinced me not to read it, but I might give it a try now. But the first review on there is just like scathing. It's greetings, students. Welcome to Writing 101. How to write the worst novel ever written in 2020. This is my first time teaching the class, but I rest assured that my qualifications include understanding the proper use of ellipses and knowing 10 different names that sound better than Penelope, something like that. Please take out your syllabus.
But everybody calls her Poppy. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, she's just like the entire review is just really, 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 really bad.
Can you name a fantasy book without hard to read names?
Oh, it wasn't even talking. That's not the main point of it.
I know.
She talks about how like the side characters have no point. The setting, she's like, there's a better way to make a setting than to twist the globe and press your finger on something and go like, oh, it's that country. Let me change a couple letters and it'll be the exact same thing is what she's basically saying. She talks about Poppy being kind of like a normal chosen girl, and she has to talk about how special she is all the time and how Hawk is super lame. And then she talks about, let's see, with plot. Remember when we brainstormed a list of fantasy characters back in lesson 2? You're going to put those characters in a hat, randomly pick when to mention them in the story. Make sure to replace the names back in your hat and continue doing this. There you go. You have a plot. You should continue this method for deciding between good and characters and evil characters as well. She was not this person did not like this book at all.
I think the criticism that it's not original ideas is totally fair.
Okay.
Because it's not. It straight up is not. It is Twilight and Beauty and the Beast. That's pretty much it. Like that's it. I do think that she's not giving enough credit to the world or world building.
Okay.
I do actually really like how it was done. Conlon, I'm gonna say you will really like how it's done, especially with the payoff at the end of the first book. But it's not original. Like, you're not gonna read this and be like, "Oh man, I've never seen it happen this way before." No,
You will have seen it before.
you will have seen it before, and you will call almost every twist and turn coming from a mile away. They're going to do things that you're going to be like, "Oh, yep, I called that in chapter 1." As soon as I met Hawk, I was like, "Okay, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen." Guess what, Conlon? That happened, then that happened, then that happened.
Then that
in
happened.
that order.
But it was a good journey along the way.
Yeah, it is, like I said, not original, but the quality of how it was put together is actually really good.
Cool.
Like I said, I have a few little nitpicks about it. Like, I do wish that the best friend that was the male lived longer. Just because I felt like he was a genuine, like, good guy. I predicted he was going to be the death at the end of the first book to kind of carry people over to the first book or the second book. But he dies at, like, the first little section. Like, you meet him, you go, "Oh, he's really cool. Oh, I like the way," like, he has a nickname for Poppy that only he calls her. And you go, "Okay, they have a special friendship. I love them. They're so cool. I want to see that friendship." And even if it is just a male-female friendship the entire time, like, I could totally get behind it. So I did think he was going to last longer. He didn't. That's a bummer, because I would have loved to see more of him, but it does help the plot. So, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I do know that this is a popular little fantasy novel.
It's huge. It has
400,
500,000 reviews on Goodreads.
Yeah.
800,000 reviews.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for book 2. I've got a lot of book in this last week. I actually also listened to the audio immersion version of Dungeon Crawler Carl book 1.
Oh, cool.
So 2 books in 7 days is pretty much a record for me. But, like, I was cruising. I absolutely loved it. I'd love to talk more about it, but don't want to give too much away. It's genuinely, I really liked it.
I will try it. I'll try it. Cool. Let's go to my first topic. Dancing with the Stars. I know Josh doesn't watch this. Lauren, do you watch this at all?
I haven't watched this season. I've been watching, except for, Robert Irwine's dances.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, because I follow him on Instagram, so I see his dances that he posts. So.
Like every single woman in America right now?
Yeah, except I'm not creepily thirsting over a 21-year-old.
That's probably good, because there's a lot of people that are.
I feel so bad for him. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple people that I've seen that, like, I follow on TikTok, and then they're going off about him in a very creepy manner, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, there's one part where he's dancing with his trainer, his pro, and she's probably mid-30s, and he reaches over to her, and he's like, she's like a big sister to me. She's just so much older and wiser, and yeah, you can see her like going, ah.
It's like, I'm not even that old, dude.
Funny. It's so funny. Now my sister-in-law is obsessed with him, and it feels like every woman on the planet is. And then
he's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
I respect him and stuff, but I'm not like, I'm going to the Australian Zoo to catch eyes.
With
him. So weird.
My sister-in-law is literally moving to Perth for like a exchange program, whatever they do for the college kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Literally because she'll be closer to him. So
And
she
he's
could
in
do the
LA.
program. And it's ridiculous. Anyway, about the show. I have a major problem with the show. There is a guy named Andy. Andy sucks. He's not good. He finally got kicked off this last episode. Thank heaven. But with this show, it feels like the judges don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can give their scores. Andy had the lowest scores consistently over and over and over and over again. I said at week 2 he should have been kicked off. We were like at week 8 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people, I was imagining it being the person who's at this judging and like, oh, fingers crossed, I'm going to make it to next week, right? Well, I'd be thinking, well, Andy's here. Andy's got the lowest scores. Andy's obviously worse than us. There's no way I'm going home. And then you'd have somebody better go home and better go home and better go home and better go home. And competition should matter. The judges' votes should actually sway something, which it obviously doesn't, because Andy literally until this last week didn't look like he was dancing. It looked like he was just hobbling around the stage while his pro would actually dance around him. And that sucks. Like, he shouldn't be there. It literally got me mad. And every single year there's somebody where I'm like, you shouldn't still be here. Who just got kicked off is better than you. This is the first year where it's like, this is so blatant. This guy cannot dance. You just kicked off somebody who was doing backflips, and this guy is hobbling. Like, get him out of here. It made me frustrated. What's the point in spending millions and millions of dollars on these coaches to have them stand up and try to give advice, try to help people if their scoring doesn't matter? Why do I even watch the scoring? I might as well just watch the dances on YouTube, because that's all that really matters, is seeing the dances. Otherwise, I can just vote and just get screwed over. Go ahead, Jess.
You should just watch the dances on YouTube like a normal male.
I
just
like
watch them
this
on TikTok.
show.
But you just said it. Nothing matters, and it has the problem that
Yeah.
all of these shows have, where they try
But
and
why
build
can't they
suspense
fix
by
the
making you
problems?
watch ads for 50 hours.
I skipped the ads. I skipped those parts. But I want the why do you think they have the coach's score not matter? Like, towards the end, at least,
Because
why?
it's a balancing act, and they're on the wrong side of it. Like, look at what American Idol did, right?
Yeah.
They had their first season, and it was just the judges, and the right person won, so nobody cared. But then season 2, it was just the judges, and people said, hold on, the judges are wrong. And then after season 3 or 4, whichever the two Davids happened, like, they had to completely restructure the show because people were upset. Like, how do you balance judges versus audience? Because you as an audience member should also have a say, right?
I think that, yes, but I think that the judges' score should become more heavily weighed throughout the show.
What happens
Like, when you're getting towards
judges
the
are
end of the
biased?
show. But yes, it's a subjective art form because you're dealing with dance, you're dealing with song, and that's a hard thing to judge. But the audience is also biased, obviously, because Andy was still in the freaking show. So
agree
I
with
think
you.
that
I think
you're
that
paying
they're
millions of
too far on
dollars
the
to
other
these
side.
judges. The judges, in my opinion, the weight of their scores should become more prominent as the show goes on. And by the end of the show, it should be mostly judges that are choosing because they know what is actual quality dance. At this point, I'm like, oh, I like that. But I can't tell you the technique of the dance like they're going to and they're getting into. It becomes more of a popularity contest, and I don't like that. Like, Robert shouldn't win just because everybody likes Robert. Robert should win because he's the one who's doing the best dancing. And at the end of the show, it shouldn't be oh, Robert was doing videos with cute puppies, so 10,000 women are going to vote for him. That's stupid. I don't like that.
Reality TV is not reality TV. There's like Dancing with the Stars. The way I view that is basically celebrity dance class, and the least popular gets voted off.
Yeah, that's
so
dumb.
yeah, judges are just basically there to tell them how they can improve. And honestly, when I do watch Dancing with the Stars, it's just to see people improve. And I tell myself it's a celebrity dance class, and I want to see how much better they get. Because if I try to watch it like it is a competition and the best is going to win, I get so mad.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Genuinely drives me crazy. I can't fix the problems. I don't think that the judges should get paid millions for not mattering at all. But I'm just a little guy on a podcast who gets to rage for a second and wishes that he could change that and make it an actual show that actually had judges that actually mattered. But yeah, it's just me. Anyway, on a happier topic, Josh, what's your second one?
So my next one is called Le Mans Ultimate. It is a racing game I've been playing, and it's supposed to be played with a steering wheel and pedals, but I don't want to pay for that, so I've been just using a controller. And I used to be really into sim racing. I used to play the Formula One games with a wheel
Yeah.
and pedals. I had a great time with it. I moved and had to sell all that stuff, so I've been going without. But I was finally like, I just want to be into the sport again. I don't even care if it's on a controller. And I think this is my favorite sim racing game. It's the
Cool.
actual official one. It's endurance racing, which I have a lot of respect for. I like how it's structured. So in this one, you have a driver's rating and a safety rating. Um, and basically, you can't even get into the longer form races until you build up your safety rating and prove that you can drive on a track with other cars. Which is great because one of the most annoying things about other sim racing games that do endurance stuff, you get on, you get taken out by a car on lap one, and now you just have to watch for 200 laps in 6 hours before you can race again. Or you're on lap 199 and get taken out by somebody who doesn't know how to drive with old tires or whatever the situation is, and you feel like you just wasted 6 hours. So this one they have a minimum requirement for these different tiers of racing. I've been working on building my safety rating because everybody starts at the very very bottom. It's very very frustrating because you get knocked down no matter what if there is contact. So I was driving along just fine at the very back of the track, like, hey, not going to bother anybody, not going to do anything. I'm just going to build my safety rating so I can get into better races. Another car way up the track crashed and then rejoined facing the wrong way and smashed into me. And I got my safety rating knocked down, even though it was front to front contact and the other car was facing the wrong way. To me, that says maybe it wasn't my fault and I shouldn't have my safety rating dinged because somebody else is very clearly at fault in that situation. Um, but what this has given me the ability to do is I started listening to audiobooks while I've been racing, and
Oh, cool.
it has made me so much better of a racer. It is ridiculous how much I improved when I just had the audiobook going in the background while I was going. I totally would just start to focus. I totally zoned in during a race where I was like, I don't even see the car anymore. I just see the track and the racing lines. And like, in racing movies when they like zoom in and it's just the road and it's going by. Like I was that. I was so focused, like I'm going. And then I was like, I should
That's
probably
really cool.
like step away from this. Like I've probably been playing for too long at this point. So I went and made some food and stuff. But like it is such a good game. I definitely want to get a sim wheel again. I'm just like, do I do it? Do I spend the money or do I wait like I should? I'm having fun with the controller, but it would be so much better if I had the actual stuff for it. It'd be even faster. But yeah, I put in like, I'm going to pull it up right now. Go ahead, Lauren. You were going to say something.
I just imagined you at your computer, like Lightning McQueen, being like, "I am speed."
That's completely accurate. I am speed. And you know what my favorite part is? I got my very first podium the other day, meaning I finished in the top 3. And I was on a controller. You know what
That's
90%
cool.
of these people are with? They have actual wheels and
Will.
pedals and have force feedback and all the nice things, especially with this tier of game where it's an officially licensed sim game. It's not a. I feel pretty good having, beaten those guys because I'm just little old me on a controller. Like I have 1/10 of the information that they have to go around this track, and finally got my first podium. I was like, woohoo! Um, and then in the next race, crashed out. Totally my fault. 100% my fault. Just overextended, spun wheels, went off track, and then was like, dang it! I need to get my safety rating back. I finally went up for bronze 0 to bronze 1, and went out on track and decided. So I normally start in the pit lane, which means you let all the cars go by and then you join the track at the very back. And that was my strategy for just building my safety rating. Like, hey, just don't go near cars. Only pass when they crash. Otherwise, stay behind them. Just let them do their thing. I don't care where I finish. But I was like, I'm feeling good. I just finished 3rd. Maybe if I had started where I qualified in 4th, I would have won this race. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start. So I started in 4th. And the thing that always happens, except it wouldn't have happened in the previous race, but it did happen in this race. Turn 1 happened. Everybody crashed into me and smashed me into the wall so bad my car was damaged. I couldn't even go around to pit and fix and try and get clean lap points. I just had to DNF, and I was like, well, now I'm just watching this race. And I should have just started from the pit lane. I knew I should have started from the pit lane. I had this conversation with myself where I was like, I should just start from the pit lane, but I didn't. And now I'm halfway through bronze 0 again. I'm going to keep going because I have to get it back. And then I crashed again. And then I crashed again. And then I was like, fine, I guess I just won't play this today. So I put it down and came back to the next day. And now I'm bronze 1 again. But like I had like 6 hours into this game before. I'm now at 35.
Wow.
Like I have put so much time into this game the last like 4 days. I've loved every second of it. It's great. I love racing. I love cars.
So the negative reviews that I am seeing are saying there's a lot to pay to win. Have you noticed that?
No.
Oh,
That
okay.
person doesn't know what they're talking about. There is seasons in that you buy the season, you get access to the new year of cars. They add a new track or 2 or whatever. But the old cars aren't inferior in any way. They just have a different sticker on them and follow different regulations. And when you're playing online, everybody is in the same regulations anyway. The only other element to pay to win is you will be faster if you buy a sim rig.
Okay.
You will be. 100% can guarantee it. You can knock off seconds a lap with
Why
the amount of
is
information.
Race sim so much better?
What do you mean?
Like, controllers have a lot of feedback now. Like,
Not
why
to that
is
extent.
okay?
Not to that extent. The way, okay, so if you have a sim rig and you have a decent one, so a decent one is going to cost you $300. It's going to have at least 2.5 Newton meters of force. When your wheels start slipping, it's going to feel different in a steering wheel.
Okay.
Than not. And with how good controllers are, I have the Xbox Elite controller, pretty much as good as they can get. Only one better is this PlayStation 5 one, if you ask me. This doesn't give any kind of feedback. You get some rumble and you get some fighting in the trigger.
but that's it.
That doesn't give you enough information to know, can I push through this or am I going to lose control? You don't have that information. And with an actual sim rig, if you get upwards of like $600, you can get upwards to 9 newton meters of force. You can get pedals that fight you as well, so you can get the information from the pedals and the steering. Like, it is such an advantage in these kind of games.
Very cool. Very cool. Racing games are not my kind of game, but I'm glad that you love this one so much, my guy.
It's great. I really want to get to the point where I can start taking part in some longer races. I think endurance racing would be very cool, and it's going to be awesome. I just got to work my way up to it, which I think is a good thing.
It's awesome. What's your rating on the game?
Bronze 1. I have to get to silver 2.
What's your 1 out of 10?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Sweet.
This is my favorite sim racing game. Cool. Every other one is pay to win. Like, if you want to do iRacing, A, it's a monthly subscription. B, you have to pay for things on top of that.
I just looked it up and it seems stupid expensive.
It is. I don't get it. It's the most popular, biggest one. It has the most variety. Like, you can do any kind of racing in it, but it's
stupid expensive.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to my topic, and then we'll do our shared topic. Oh, good. All right, we'll go on to my topic. 27 Dresses. Have either of you seen this?
Yes, but I could not tell you the plot.
Okay. Girl really likes weddings. She does a whole lot of stuff to support all of her friends and get into as many weddings as possible and help make their first day magical. But she doesn't get her own wedding, and she's the girl who's always left out of the wedding, and when's it going to be my turn? It's that kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I usually don't like this kind of movie that much, to be honest. It's usually not my rom-com favorite kind of movie. This one in particular confuses me because usually with the It's Not My Turn wedding movies, they work at a flower shop or they're the wedding planner or something. She's just some random chick who really likes weddings and is spending thousands of dollars going to her friends' weddings. And I'm like, what are you doing, you psycho person? You're crazy. I think people like this movie because I know a ton of girls that I think are like this main character, where she's just so nice and she'll never put herself in front in the place of somebody else. Like, one of my wife's best friends is this person. I don't actually know if there's things she doesn't like about me because she would never tell me if there was anything she didn't like about me. And I see a lot of not just women, men struggle with this too, where they're almost like too nice all the time. And it makes it feel like you're not authentic because you don't know if they're actually being authentic or not. And I've had a lot of friends, mostly who are women, who feel like who I've seen struggle with this problem. And I've tried to help them be more direct and more like confident with themselves and actually fight for what they want and what they need and even say what they want and they need. And because of that, I think this movie particularly bugged me because of how realistic I thought that aspect was. And the entire time I wanted to reach through the movie and be like, just say that you want to date your boss. Don't let your sister date your boss. That's stupid. Don't just talk to her. Just have a conversation. But she's too nice and she won't have the conversation. So the entire time I was bugged with this movie. I think it's a good movie. I can see why people would like this movie because it's very real. But the entire time I was like, girl, I want to help you. And I couldn't help her because she's a movie character.
I think it's funny with the 27 dresses thing because one summer I had 7 friends get married and I was a bridesmaid in every single one of them. And I made one dress work for all of those weddings.
That's fantastic. This girl does not do that. She spends a fortune.
I'm like, plum is your color, right? plum's the color that you want me to wear at your wedding,
Yeah,
right?
you want plum, right?
You want a lace plum dress. That's what you want me to wear. But
Do
yeah, that's,
you are you a girl like this, or do you know girls like this that like are just too nice? You don't know anything, really. Where they like won't talk about their own wants and needs, and like literally will just let people trample on them and be like, "Yes, I would love to help you."
I think like nice isn't the right word, but people
Okay.
pleasing, yes,
Yeah, to the extreme.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, I'm a recovering people pleaser.
What did you have to do to change that?
I mean, like, it's not something that, like, if you notice somebody else doing it, it's not like you can save them and make them not be a people pleaser anymore. They kind of have to, for me, it was kind of, somebody said something, I was in therapy, and my therapist said something along the lines of, it isn't, um, I can't think of what she said. It was brilliant. Um, but basically, I had to hit rock bottom, and I felt like I was trying to people please, but I wasn't pleasing anybody. um, and so like it took me forever to realize that she's like it's kind of a form of manipulation, just trying to people please all the time. And that hit me really hard because that's like one thing that I absolutely do not want to do is like manipulate people. So I try to say my truths as um like I don't give that as an excuse to be rude when I'm telling people truths. I think you can be truthful and nice about it. I don't think that you have to just gut people with the truth because it's truth. In fact, one of my favorite Taylor Swift lyrics is um, casually so cruel in like the guise of being honest or something. And that's not the correct lyric, but it's like, yeah, being cruel, but saying just being honest or whatever. You can be honest and not be cruel. So that's where I tried to go with my people pleasing, is like you can be nice and be honest.
I
And like,
really like that.
yeah. So
I like that a lot. I wrote down it's kind of a form of manipulation to please people all the time because that is gold. That is gold.
yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like a slap to my face because it's like, no, I'm trying to keep the peace, but it's like, whose peace are you keeping? Right? Like, so it's it's really hard because it is a survival technique that a lot of women, not just women, but
Yeah.
it tends to be heavily um, women that form this out of like need to survive because there's um like I've had explosive people in my life that it's like if I wasn't trying to like please them in some way, it could be dangerous. So like it's that's where mine came from, and then I realized that I was doing that outside of just dangerous situations because it was so ingrained in me. So it's like it's hard. It's not like just something somebody can be like, oh, let me just stop that now. You know. So
Do you
yeah.
think a lot of the time it's a protective instinct and that's where it comes from?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an extreme thing, but I do think it's a protective.
That's really interesting.
So
It's just
yeah.
that's a hard problem, and it does feel manipulative, and it doesn't feel real. I would feel like you're being fake all the time, and that sucks. Like I've been in my life, I've been where I've lied a lot, and it doesn't feel like you're authentic, and then you actually forget like who you are because you never are being real, and that
Yeah, and
sucks.
I don't know if it shows it in the movie or not. But like definitely if you're a people pleaser all the time, it's like everybody's like, "Oh, this person's being so helpful and they're just so happy and nice all the time." But then like there's a crash that comes from like when everything's quiet and you're not with everybody that you need to people please. It's like a crash and everything for that person. So, it's not sustainable, and it might not be that extreme in every case of people pleasing or stuff, but there is that trend.
Ebb and flow.
Yeah, because you are like masking, and that's exhausting. And then it's lonely because you don't feel like people actually see who you are because you're the helpful person, or the you just have to be the person that is helpful, and then that's your identity, and so it's really hard to like come back off of that.
I'm glad you figured it out, Lauren.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you're figuring it out, dude. I think this is a movie that I understand why people like this movie. In reality, it's probably like a 7.5 type of a movie. You guys might like it more than me. My experience was like a 4. I was I was slightly negative on this movie.
Mm.
But it's not one that I would tell people not to watch because I think you could like it. With that, let's go to our final topic, which is a much better movie. Under the Red Hood, Batman. Josh, what were your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on this? We've talked about it a little bit, but
I'm seeing your notes. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like for you to go first on this one.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think people. There's a lot of people I know who will watch live action pretty much exclusive me, and I think that's just a huge, huge, huge mistake. Batman Under the Red Hood is simply phenomenal. It is so good. The music, the voice acting, the animation, it's just so good. And I think it's an absolute mistake that people will watch Batman Begins or The Dark Knight and won't watch this movie because, in my opinion, this is better than both of those. Pretty significantly, easily better than both of those. Why do you think people put down animation or don't take it seriously?
People just automatically put that as like childish or immature, because they always link animation to cartoons, and it does makes me sad that like, I mean, I remember being a teenager and I was like, I'm not gonna watch anything Pixar. I'm not a kid. That lasted like 3 months, because How to Train Your Dragon came out and I loved it. But yeah, I just think there's a stigma to it of being like it's childish. A lot of people, um, like it's not true, but I think a lot of people put that to like, oh, people who live in their mom's basement is that's what they would watch because, which none of that's true. Like, I think, yeah,
Where do you think
it's
that
just
stigma comes from? Like, why did that
Saturday
even form?
morning cartoons. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's basically it. Is that cartoons used to be just for kids, but now there's a lot more medium to make it more mature because this is definitely a more mature
Absolutely.
medium. Um, and yeah, it just gets that stigma because growing up, people are like, oh yeah, cartoon means kid. And it's kind of a hard one to stray away from for some people.
Do you think that that is changing with things like Arcane and uh, Avatar and Lost Ex Machina and a thousand different things?
I think the people who have that stigma already in their brain, it's not going to change. I think
Okay.
for a younger generation, it already has changed because they don't have that stigma with it. So For like
Okay.
younger generation, you're going to see that go away. But for the people who are already like, I don't watch cartoons or animation, I think that they're gonna be stubborn enough to just not
Do you
change their
think it's
minds.
changed because of the shows that are coming out, things like Arcane, or is it because we don't really have Saturday morning cartoons anymore?
Both.
Yeah.
I think you have like a lot of streaming stuff where now, like in your streaming services, you can be like, okay, this is the kids channel, and then there's just like all the kid things there, and then there's no real, um, yeah, no real like Saturday cartoon medium, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's no
Um,
equivalent.
yeah, so I think it's that, and then the people who like animation and stuff, they're not putting the stigma onto it. So I think younger generations aren't going to have that problem.
Okay. What do you think, Josh?
I think it really just depends on the person. Um,
Okay.
I mean, just to go in a similar but different thought process that we've talked about, you don't understand how some people can find cartoons attractive.
Yeah, I don't
Why not?
at all.
Why
I
don't you
don't know.
get
I
it?
just don't.
Where's the stigma? Like, what's the reason for that comment? My point is like people have different relationships to cartoons,
Okay.
and for me, it's like the thing about movies and TV is you have to have a certain level of believability. You have to let go of the world X amount, right?
Yeah.
And I think for some people, because it's drawn, they can't say this is possible, right? And when you look at it, it's not. I mean, Lauren can speak like towards animation itself. Like, how do you animate? Well, you grossly over exaggerate everything. Like, the one thing I can tell you from my 2D animation class that I took in middle school is like, you don't draw a ball bouncing like it's supposed to. You flatten it down like it's a little pancake and then overextend it on the way up because that gives it the feeling of real, even though when a ball bounces, it doesn't actually do that.
Do that.
So when a character jumps, he doesn't jump 2 inches off the ground like most humans do. He jumps 60 feet into the air, and so like I think that that's the big barrier. Like, yeah, there's probably some people where it's just a stigma. Cartoons are for kids, and like I can be guilty of that. I didn't watch anime for a really long time because that's for nerds. Um, I didn't watch Avatar: The Last Airbender for a kid for a long time because that was just for kids, right? Like, but when I got older and I was like, none of that actually really matters, I was able to find really good stuff in those things because I was more open minded. But to me, the stigma is a temporary barrier. I think the people where it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't work for me, it's because they can't suspend their disbelief in a drawing form.
That makes sense. I think that's a really good point. I like those points. Those are good points. I think it's a shame that animation doesn't work for some people because they miss out on things like this. And in my opinion, this is one of the greatest animated. This is just one of the greatest movies of all time. And with that, I was thinking about what makes a great story. You've got to have a villain that really pushes our hero to the max, and that's one of the interesting parts about this show is the very end when Joker and Red Hood are standing there and Red Hood says, won't you kill this vile piece of trash? And that had me think of like what makes a hero. A hero is defined by a set of values that they strictly follow. And I don't think it has to be I don't kill. It doesn't have to be a Batman thing. I think that's simple. The great heroes have things that they stand for, some of which you don't even believe in, but they do. And they won't break those beliefs. They will stick to it. But then I was thinking about like what makes a villain a great villain? Because they have a set of beliefs. And they're beliefs that you don't believe in. But they stick to those beliefs and they go towards those beliefs. You might be against those beliefs. So what makes a great villain? And I think the brilliance of the end of this episode is at the end of this movie is it shows the dichotomy between the two sides incredibly well. You have Joker that wants to break your hero. And I think that's a lot of where the villain part comes from. What side are we rooting for, and who wants to break the side that we're rooting for? Who wants to break those values? And you have Joker that is trying to break Batman. He's trying to have him shift his values. He's trying to have him stop being the hero. And it's displayed in this very short segment better than I think it's displayed in just about anything else. It is a class on how to write good characters done in a very short period of time. And the Joker is a character that can still appreciate when Batman is still in the game. And he throws the Batarang, the gun explodes, and Joker's like, you figured it out. You figured a way out of this whole entire situation, and appreciates his nemesis. It's small. In the original cartoon, that's not how the story ends, and I think it's actually done better in the animated version. It's pretty incredible. I looked at all of these different aspects of this story, and I already rated this as an 8.5. I was wrong. This should be a 9.3. Like it's ridiculously good. Those are kind of my thoughts. What about you guys?
Go ahead, Lauren.
Okay, so I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
At the end, like when you're watching this movie, are you siding with Batman or Red Hood?
Batman.
Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Okay.
Like I understand Batman was being Batman the entire time, but I get Red Hood.
I get him too. That's one of the great things about the story.
Yeah, that's what's so good about this is it like makes me ticked off at Batman because I like Batman, and in this one part is like just kill the freaking Joker, man. Like especially like his Red Hood when he's like I don't care that you didn't make it. He's like I feel like you didn't care enough about me to do something about it. And like whew, yeah, that brought up some things for me for sure.
Talk about the character development. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I think this is a really good I really like the animation. I love the voice acting. I'm amazed with how much running shots they have that were good. Because that is like the hardest thing to do. Especially all the different angles they were doing. I'm just like, they're just flexing at this point. I'm not mad. Yeah.
There is one running scene that has always bothered me.
Which one?
They're on the rooftop and it shows them from the side panel and it's their silhouettes. And it bothers me because Red Hood is clearly putting in enough effort to be moving twice as fast as he is actually moving.
I did notice that one too.
I notice it every time I watch it. All of the other running scenes genuinely look really great. It immediately cuts to him from the front and you go, yeah, this makes sense. But that one side shot, it's like 30 seconds long or 20 seconds long. It's not super long.
I know
I sit there and I go, oh my gosh, why even put this in the movie? Like, that looks so bad.
I do remember seeing that part and being like, I can totally see, like, team members that worked on all the other scenes where their running is great, and they're like, that was John! That was John's scene! That wasn't me! If they just would have done the timing like I told them to do it.
John's like, no, it was Kevin! Kevin! It was Kevin!
If they would have followed the spreadsheet I put on the Google Doc! Because, like, that's, like, legit something that happened in the little animation I did where I was, like, seeing everybody's on the same page and there was one person who shall remain nameless, but we all know who they are. And it was just, like, timing was off. They didn't pay attention to anything. And we're like, you make all the other good...
You ruined the whole thing.
You made all the other running scenes seem negligible because this one scene. But yeah, other than that one scene, I do agree. Like it's fantastic. Um, and like all the points that you made with like the villain and the hero and Red Hood's arc and everything. Because like it's very interesting how like Red Hood's like, no, I'm taking control of everything so that I actually have control over the chaos instead of just trying to snuff it out. Um, yeah, it was really good. Plus Jensen Ackles, can't go wrong. So
All right, Josh.
Well, what would Lauren rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any reason I shouldn't give it a 10. And I will say 9.8 because of that running scene. Just kidding, 10.
So for me, I have watched this movie 10 times probably. I've seen this movie a lot. I absolutely love this movie, and I still do. But this watching experience was entirely different for me.
Okay.
I got something completely different out of it than I ever have before. Um,
Okay.
I noticed how well Jason had things planned this time. So if we look at the normal Batman formula, right? Villain does crime. Batman responds. Batman figures out what villain is up to. Batman stops villain in their tracks. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. This one, Batman is always playing from behind. And I think that this is the only time it has ever been done through the entire thing. Like, there are times where the Joker gets a leg up or whatever. But, like, he's the greatest detective. He gets, if he has prep time, Batman versus with prep time, like,
You're screwed. You're done.
except this one proves that
Except for this
Batman
one.
loses with prep time.
If he deals with somebody who knows all of the ways he's going to prep.
But he loses with prep time. Whatever the reason may be, he lost with prep time. Um, he never really figured out the end game. He just reacted to it, and this is the only one I've seen that way too. A lot of my favorite Batman things are the ones where Batman breaks or comes close to breaking. You talked about
Sure.
what makes a hero. To me, it's not values. It's not a code. It is somebody who chooses good when the option of bad is so easy, right? Like, if Batman kills the Joker, there's no repercussions. He doesn't go to jail. He'd never get caught. He could just hang up the Batman and never get found out, right?
Be done.
But he resiliency, he always has that option, and he expresses it in this movie, which is so beautiful, right? Why didn't you do it? Because it'd be too hard? Because it'd be too damn easy, right? Um, to me, that's what makes a hero, and it's so beautifully built to this in this story. Um, I immediately looked for. I want to know what led to this stuff. I want to see what the movie was that's the precursor to this movie, and it's completely standalone, which is good because it works as a standalone movie. But like, if there was a prequel, would I watch it? Abso-freaking-lutely. Are you kidding me? If there was an epilogue or a sequel, would I watch it? Abso-freaking-lutely as well. Like, this movie is so freaking good. But I am. This was the time where I noticed that it wasn't a back and forth. Uh, Jason had the leg up on Batman the entire time. Like,
Entire
he
time.
planned on driving a convertible because it had the breakaway roof. He didn't just like happen to have a convertible when Batman harpooned it, which is what I used to watch it like. Like, that was
He planned
planned.
it.
He planned on doing it, knowing Batman was going to harpoon the roof. every single thing was meticulously thought out and planned through. And watching it that way made me appreciate this movie a lot more. Um, I also noticed some things that are some negative notes. The first one is I don't feel like the ending is perfect. They don't answer whether or not Jason died again. We know the Joker lives. We know Batman lives. But what about Jason? We saw Batman grab Jason.
But is he alive?
But is he alive? We don't really know. As it is a standalone and there isn't a sequel or plans for a sequel, I do view that as a negative note. My other negative note is the Joker is the voice actor for Jake from Adventure Time. And once I found that out, it was hard not to see that. And that kind of ruined the Joker for me a little bit.
That's too bad. I didn't
like
know
you
that.
say, voice acting's great. I'm like, no, he doesn't even try. Like, that's just his voice. He's not even like doing a Joker voice. He sounds exactly like Jake from Adventure Time. And you're just like, why? I don't like that.
I kind of wish you hadn't told me that.
I'm like,
I can't picture it right now.
Just turn on the movie to a random point in time when the Joker's on screen, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's Jake. Especially you, Lauren, who's so into Adventure Time. You're not going to be able to unsee it, and it's a bad thing.
I know I'm remembering like the first lines of like him with Robin when he's like beating him, and I'm like, I do not remember. Like, it does not sound like Jake to me.
To me, I didn't notice it till I looked it up, and I was like, because I thought he sounded familiar. So I was like, who are these voice actors? And when I saw it and saw that it was Jake, I was like, I don't even like Adventure Time that much. And even now, I can't unhear this. And the other thing is, Nightwing is Neil Patrick Harris.
I was going to say,
yeah,
I knew
that one I knew.
And it's like, okay, he puts in a little bit more effort to where it's
I think he does really good, actually.
But like, ever since I saw Series of Unfortunate Events, like, they sound the same to me, that version of Neil Patrick. He does a great job. It's not a negative note, but very good. I do hear it now, and it's like, I wish I just didn't. I wish these were just the characters. So what I would change is I would make Batman be played by Kevin Conroy, and Mark Hamill be the Joker. That's a change I would make, and I would change the ending to let the audience know what happens with Jason.
I think to change the ending so you know what happens with Jason would be a good move. The Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, yes, if I could put the absolute two best voice actors that could ever possibly do it, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that too, Josh.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that we agree. Yeah, those are my only two little criticisms of it. I know it's a nitpicking thing, but I did have a different experience having known that.
I think the guy, whoever did Batman, I actually think he does a really, really good job. What's his name? Who does Batman? Do you know? Bruce Greenwood. Yeah. I think he does an excellent job. I'm actually fine I would be fine just leaving him. But I will hear the Joker thing again. Kevin Conroy is still the best. Like, yes, I would take the best. I would take the best. Is there anything that you would change, Lauren?
I would like a more concrete thing of what happened to Jason, because I think it was a little bit silly how he grabs him and then after the rubble settles, he's like looking everywhere for him. I was like,
you just had him. Where'd he go?
Yeah. Well, that was it.
Anyway, guys, this is a great movie. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, or you're iffy on animation, or whatever reason, just give it a shot because it's fantastic. We appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a better tomorrow than you did today. If you'd like to join us next week, we're going to watch Addams Family Values as our shared topic. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you with everything. Thanks, guys. See ya. Bye.